So, a little bit of news here, or I guess I'll put it in the rumor mill because it is the fourth period and they can be a little hit or miss with some of their Sabres reports. But according to David Pagnotta of the fourth period, Victor Olofsson will be hitting free agency. I will pass it off to JP from here.
Nah, I'll pass it to Christian. In the past, yes, I had some critical things, but last year I actually felt bad for him. So I'll pass it off to Christian, who might be his biggest fan.
Oh, my king, where did it all go wrong? Man, it seems like the end of an era, you know? You're closing another chapter of the pre Kevin Adams Buffalo Sabres. Um I wish Olofsson the best. But you know, he was dimensional. That was it. He could score, and when he wasn't that, like when he wasn't on a good power play or he wasn't scoring, he was a ghost out there. So $4.75 million money is well spent elsewhere, but I hope he finds his game somewhere on another team because another team could definitely play to his strengths more. He might not be an every night kind of player, but if you need a little offensive jolt here and there, maybe you could, put him on the top line somewhere, and I'm sure he'll score. But yeah, it's you know, end of an era again. I mean, people are already talking about Jeff Skinner on his way out too. So, um, also interesting note, I think Victor Olofsson is the last Sabre to go through arbitration, and that had to be like 4 years ago because they were talking about Luukkonen going through arbitration this year, but
Was that
well,
what?
I was listening to WGR this morning and they were talking about a scenario of him going to arbitration, but I
Did he
I
go
haven't
with? Was it this contract that he was on? I don't remember.
I'm almost certain it was. I'm because I
'Cause
know he went through
I know
arbitration.
that because I think he signed a 1 year deal. The
Oh, maybe
first
it was.
he signed a 1 year deal in Adams' first season. I don't. I forget. If so, if this current contract was the one he went through arbitration on, I think it's the only time Adams has gone through that process.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think
Just
he ever did. Sabres signed Victor Olofsson avoid arbitration hearing October 29, 2020.
hmm. Well, it's probably I guess they were probably gearing up for it.
Well, I'm sure they were, but it looks like they did avoid it.
Well, the interest the interesting thing, Victor Olofsson has been a part of the Sabres organization since 2014. That's only 2 years less than Zemgus Girgensons.
I didn't even realize he was drafted that early. I thought he was drafted in like 2016 or something.
181st overall in the seventh round of the 2014 draft.
That is a Darcy Regier masterclass right there.
Tim Murray masterclass.
That was a Tim Murray
That
draft?
was a Tim. That was a gift from the horse breeder himself.
I thought Regier was still drafting in 2014. Oh no, that was a Reinhardt draft. Yeah, you're right. It is Tim Murray. And
Isn't it just
then
funny how GMs they just blur together at this point.
yeah, when they all suck, yeah. But yeah, it's great value for a guy you found in the seventh round, you know. You wish your past GMs would have found more of those guys. Too bad they can't draft outside the first round.
Hey, I think that's if you take a step back. Look, Victor Olofsson, very frustrating player, very one tool player. We all know that. This is a guy who's been in the NHL for now what, 5 seasons?
Six, 5, 6 seasons, yeah.
He was a seventh round pick, 181st overall. Tore up the SHL, had a great rookie season with the Rochester Americans, which it's funny because I don't know, I just have funny memories of everybody calling him a rookie back then. He was like 23, but first season in AHL, great season, 30 goals, comes up, gets placed with Jack Eichel onto his wing. I think wasn't he a Calder finalist that year? That's funny to look back on. And is his time with the Sabres just ran out, especially with this core. He I don't know, he carved out a nice career for himself. I think given where he was drafted, this is basically as much of a home run as it can be.
He was our Brock Purdy.
I'm looking at all of Sabres 7th round picks. There's actually a few notable ones I didn't realize there was. Do you guys know any of them?
What's the draft year?
JP's dropping in. He's bringing back Sabres trivia.
What's the draft year?
2000,
2000?
round 7, pick 220.
And he played a long time.
How long did he
Yes,
play
was
with
a very
them?
good player for us. Years. He was with us in our
Years.
best teams. Okay, he had 231 points
A
in the
Finneganov?
Nope. He was US. He had a nice nickname.
Paul Gostad?
Yeah.
Wow, he was 7th round, wasn't he?
Jeez,
And
seventh
then
round.
also 2 years later, or where is it? 3 years later, Nathan Pesh.
Nathan
Page.
Page.
Nathan Page.
Oh man, the
I
legend
see.
himself.
Yeah. I'm trying to
Buttery
see if there's
last
any other
name.
ones. I was gonna say that Olofsson was our best 7th round pick ever, but obviously Gostad's definitely
Goose.
surpassed that.
I mean, he was probably like the more well-rounded player, but I don't know.
Olofsson had more of a spark to his game when
Better
he
goal
when he
songs,
had
too.
it. That too. I'm gonna miss ABBA so much.
Oh, here's another 7th round pick. Christian's favorite Amerks player has been for years now.
Linus Weisbach was a
Linus
7th round
Weisbach was
pick.
7th round pick.
That's
Yeah.
a pretty good value pick. Good
Yeah.
AHL guy.
Tyson Kozak.
I
Oh,
forgot about
Kozak, that's
Kozak,
right.
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
What happened to the hype train around
Stay
him?
tuned. Nah,
He's
he's
still
look,
doing good down there.
they kept him in the AHL when he was 18. I don't think he was physically. Well, I shouldn't say he wasn't physically ready, but it's a slower path. So I think that
We could
from
see
what
him.
from what I've watched and from what I've read about him, I think it's just a slower process. All right, on to the other UFA, it's very funny how Pagnotta structured this. He sends out the tweet like breaking. Victor Olofsson will be hitting UFA. And then he just drops it in a subsequent article that, oh yeah, Girgensons is expecting to hit the market too. It's like, dude, where have you been? Olofsson has been gone. Like he was on the Sabres roster. He was not.
got the bigger news wrong.
He was hardly a Buffalo Sabre. I don't think anybody. Who?
He was on the
It's
way
like
out.
breaking. Guys,
2 years ago.
Victor Olofsson's leaving. No.
No,
Like
this can't be happening. No.
not even halfway through the first year of his contract, he was on his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bigger news. He got the bigger news. He got it backwards, man. The bigger news is Girgensons possibly leaving, which from everything I've seen, it looks like it's true. I think his time is done here.
Yeah, so according to Pagnotta, Girgensons, who is 30, is expected to test the free agent market this July. He made $2.5 million on his last deal. It's unclear what type of contract he is looking for next.
Future Pittsburgh Penguin. Calling it right now. He will be a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Yeah, it's we've talked a little bit about this. It sort of feels weird. It would be weird if they brought him back. Coming out of those locker cleanout interviews where all they talked about was accountability, it kind of shined a negative light on where I think the leadership was at that time. And I think even Friedman's talked about it at points where like guys who have left the Sabres, including vets, thought that they needed more of a pushback voice in the locker room. And it just kind of seemed like the leadership core, it got them to a certain place. It couldn't take them any further. And as much as Girgensons has been, a silent, lead by example type player, it's just not what the Sabres needed anymore. So it's possibly looking like this is the last we will see of Zemgus Girgensons.
The last Darcy Regier guy to fall.
It makes sense. It could have made sense last year. This just goes against everything that Adams was talking about after the trade deadline. He was talking about extending him, and now he's gone a few months later. So I'll believe it when I see it. It just feels weird with how much Adams is talking about him.
I agree with that. I just think before the trade deadline, they get Byram, then they go on that quick hot streak. People think they have a chance to get in, and then they completely fumble the ball. And they didn't torpedo to the bottom of the standings, but it was a very painful end
It's just
It
a
was a slow.
skittish.
It was a slow death, kind
Yep.
of. I think maybe he just realized, especially coming out of those locker cleanouts, that you know what? As much as I love him, as much as there's nothing, literally zero wrong with him. Like there's nothing wrong. If people don't like him, it's probably because he didn't live up to his draft pedigree. But for what he is a perfectly fine player, a perfectly fine leader. They just need something fresh, I think.
Yeah.
And Terry loves him, so that's gonna be
Oh,
tough
yeah.
for him.
Does he get a video tribute when he comes back?
Oh,
He
absolutely.
has
Dude,
to, right?
he's
He
like
has to.
he's top 10 in Sabres all-time games played, I'm fairly
Yeah,
certain.
he is one
He's
of,
up there.
I will say, like, you talk about guys like LaFontaine, like the greatest Buffalo Sabres of all time. Based on tenure, he is a he's a great Buffalo Sabre. He's been here for over a decade.
Based on that, he is one of the greatest Sabres of all time. Yes, I would
Oh,
agree with
no,
that.
no, that's not what I was trying to say.
If we go by minimum 8 years played on the Sabres, he is up there.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's 10th, 688.
Adding on to that, we've had a few people reach out, or there's whispers that he maybe sold his house in Buffalo, and obviously it's not a great indicator, but hey, who knows? Maybe he's just buying another house in Buffalo. You never know. You don't want to run with these things, and even with this report, it's the fourth period. Always take it with a grain of salt. But I think Olofsson, Girgensons, they're two guys that I think you can very, very easily see moving on from the Sabres.
he's upgrading. He's getting a bigger house because he's getting a payday.